And while most students are out for the summer, students at 4 EVSC schools are still getting up early and heading to class. In EVSC's equity schools, a day has been extended, and so has the school year.
If school is out for summer, don't tell that to students at Delaware Elementary School. No, for the next week and a half, these students are continuing their education and doing it with a smile on their faces.
Each school staff helped develop their calendar with the input from families and students. Most elementary students in particular, they love going to school, and so extending their calendar really is something that they look forward to.
Delaware is one of EVSC's 3 equity schools, which chose to extend their school days by as long as an extra hour and their school year by as many as 2 full weeks. Lincoln School has traditionally gone to school year-round to meet the needs of its students and families.
Really didn't want to just make it more of the same. But to offer additional opportunities. And every school is unique in the way that they're using their extra days and how they're enriching the curriculum and the instruction for their students in order to make each student more successful in meeting their grade level goals.
At McGarry Middle School, students and teachers do this by spending the extra time focusing on social and emotional skills. At Howard Rusa, they've begun focusing on next year's standards to give students a head start.
Delaware School, one thing that they're doing, they're enriching their day by offering additional classes. Their day is actually longer, and so their students have opportunities for a lot more enrichment of the curriculum. More than just the basic components of the curriculum. They have opportunities for a program called Lego Math, where they actually learn physics and engineering skills, but in a really fun and very motivating environment using Legos. So each school kind of has their unique way of how they're using those additional days in order to enrich and enhance and accelerate the achievement of their students.
Teachers say these changes are helping students catch up to their peers, even excel, and yes, enjoy going to school even when their friends may already be out for the summer. Reporting for Education Matters, I'm Jennifer Cahill.
And joining me now is Todd Slagle, the principal of Delaware Elementary School, one of our equity schools and a school that's on the extended calendar. Thanks for joining us, Todd.
Thanks for having me.
A lot of exciting things happening at Delaware School.
Very exciting things. Kids are coming every morning. They're still excited about learning and coming and seeing us every day and getting a good education and making sure that we get them ready for the next grade level.
Let's go back over a year ago, and this whole equity school concept was developed as a result of Delaware being a low-performing school. And the real question was, how do we affect our lowest performing schools? And the equity school model was developed with intense professional development, extended school day, extended school year, and now you've been through almost a year. How are things going?
We think it's a great success. Our teachers have focused in on our student needs, and we're allowed to not only just look at the standards that the kids need that are set forth by the Indiana Department of Education, but then also how we're going to apply that. So we have actually done away with our textbooks and making sure that our kids are getting hands-on engaging lessons every day.
Let's talk about the textbooks for a moment. You said you're getting rid of textbooks now. I mean, it's heresy. I mean, how could you do that?
Well, pretty simple. We make sure that the students, that our teachers know exactly what it is the students need to learn at their grade level. We make sure we scaffold their lessons so that they can get to proficiency at their grade level and then take them beyond that. And a lot of times that takes us beyond what the books are, what the books allow us to do.
You know, it's interesting because the textbook industry has been so powerful, and we've seen this 6-year adoption cycle, and by the time students get textbooks, they're already 2 or 3 years old. By the time we're into those, they're almost a decade old. So now with technology, you're bringing information to students that's up to date.
Students are researching topics that normally they would just read about. Now they're getting ready to research them. They can create their assessments basically online and show their knowledge by using technology.
So what's been the reaction of parents, students, community?
I believe the students, number one, with the way we're doing instruction, they're very engaged, and we can see that throughout the school day, just walking around the classrooms. You don't see students staying off task or coming to see me from time to time. The students are staying in the classroom. They love the pieces that we've added to that. The parents appreciate the fact that we've taken the time to make sure their kids are getting the education they need, and they appreciate the fact that, you know, if that's taken a longer school day or a longer school year, that the EVSC has given us that opportunity to do that.
I'll go back just a few weeks ago. You and I sat in a room at Delaware School and just listened to teachers talk about performance and the work they were doing, I walked away from that, and I share with you later how impressed I was with the conversations that were happening at that school, and convinced that things were going to be, this was going to be a great success as a result of that. You know, with teachers and the professional development, the ongoing work, kind of explain what's happening and around this professional learning community.
Well, the first thing our teachers did was realize that we needed to revise our mission statement. So we're doing excellence and equity through collaboration, innovation, and core experiences. And with that, everything that we do at school revolves around that.
And so the conversations, you know, how do teachers come together to really focus attention on these areas?
Taking the collaboration piece of our mission statement, we have to determine what's most essential at what we can provide our students. And they're looking at the standards. What's that standard going to look like for the student being proficient, and you know, what is determined proficient for those kids. The teachers then have those conversations and develop lessons and assessments based on that.
Todd, I want to thank you for being here today. Also, just a year or so ago, I called you and said, Todd, I want you to go to Delaware. Would you go to Delaware and really bring this school to life? And you've done a great job. Early results with ISTEP scores, things are looking good, and we look forward to seeing those results coming up soon. So thanks, Todd.
Thank you.
And coming up after the break, nearly 1,500 students are now graduates of the EVSC. A Central High School graduate looks back on her 4 years and has advice for those entering high school. And that's next.